Hi, I am Sonika, and I am so excited to be on this live with you, to be on this call with you. And okay, the best part about this call is I have this strong feeling that this is going to end up being a masterclass. This is going to be something that I am going to come back and look at and feel, wow, this came through. Wow, this is what I wanted to talk about and it got delivered. So if you're here and you want to tune in to a masterclass of what it would feel like to work in the zone for yourself, how it would be when you're doing that work. Okay, so what I want to talk about today, or more so what I want to share here today, is this web of predictability that is all around us and how normal it has become to be more predictable than to be more themselves, more ourselves in conversations, in how we do things, in how, a mom should take care of a baby or a husband should take care of a wife. We have made those things so predictable. We've made some things they are very normal to be expected of us and others, that it has clouded our judgment and our growth. And when I'm talking about judgment, I'm talking about judgment from a place of assessing ourselves, assessing our emotions, our mindset, our beliefs in a particular scenario, about a situation, about an event, about a person. I'm not talking about deciding judgment in the way of deciding that this is how this person is, this is how the world functions, this is how everything goes, and I'm not up for it. That's what I'm talking about. This is what this conversation is about, and it is so important because as I was sitting here thinking about, okay, what does it really involve? What tangents of it can I really touch in this conversation here like this? What are the tangents that can be touched upon? Let me begin here. So when you are thinking about predictable behaviors, predictable environments, predictable people, predictable situations, a lot of people, I was also one of them, we try to put that predictability on things in our life in order to prepare ourselves for the worst or the best things that could come out of it. And that preparation is also a learned behavior because it is so difficult to not predict that this person is going to behave this way because they have behaved this way in the past. It is hard to be detached from that. It's not a very easy practice to just decide that, okay, I'm just going to expect a different outcome from this person. I'm just going to expect this person to be chill about everything. That's not gonna happen. You cannot just do that without going inside of yourself, without giving that time to yourself that you need to assess how you have felt, process your emotions around it. All of those things, you need to really give that intention towards making it work inside of you. You need to be present for that work to happen inside of you. And it takes a certain amount of learning. And it is a never-ending learning, but it gets fun when you get into the zone of understanding that I get to keep learning. I get to be curious about how am I functioning? When am I saying sorry? Am I really meaning that sorry? When am I saying thank you? Am I really meaning thank you? I think I was one of those people who would just say sorry or thank you for anything. And it would be difficult for me to not do it because I was never pausing enough, or I had never stayed enough inside of myself or assessed my emotions around things to see do I really mean it? Am I really in it? Or it's just so predictable for me to just say thank you because somebody did something for me, because somebody said something nice to me. Instead, could I just be in that moment? Could I just allow myself to receive it, accept it, enjoy it, and then say thank you? Like, there is no way that I will be receiving in a wrong way, though that happens, but that is also a learning process. And learning gets compromised when we decide that how each one of us grows has to be predictable. There is a huge ceiling. This is one of the probably the biggest limit a human puts on themselves, that a human can put on oneself, that their learning went like this, they did this. Let's take an example. Okay, this person started a business and they went on and they did great things. They are making good revenues. They are having sales from everywhere. They are so impactful and everything is just going their way. They are doing it so good, right? And then there's this another person. Now, the second person has looked at the first person and is really desiring that, this is how I want to do it. That's how I want to go with it. And somewhere we missed the step where we need to remember that, yeah, I can get there. That's not even in the question. I'm deserving. That's not even in the question. I am meant to have it. That is also out of the question. The question is, do I have the capacity? Do I have the strength? Do I have the trust within myself to really learn when I would feel like it's too hard for me, or I am probably going back to the patterns of where it has been difficult for me to do something new, and then I just judge myself and throw in the towel about the whole thing because the desire doesn't seem bigger now. The learning seems bigger. The learning seems like the main theme than just the building of what I wanted to build or have the desire that I wanted to manifest, make true. So we need to work on this, all of us. Me too. I'm also working on finding out and seeing my patterns. And it is incredible when I'm able to see my own patterns of where I put people in boxes, where I put myself in boxes when I decide that this is their predictable behavior. And the only way to question that is when you're aware of what is going on inside of you. And now comes the second layer to the whole process of doing it. Then comes the shame, the guilt, the fear, the judgment. All of that comes in. But I'm here to tell you about this process is that when you learn to assess yourself, to witness yourself, to see how you are operating day to day in your relationships, in your life, in your day, in your business, with money, with wealth, with legacy, with empire, with your clients. When you are witnessing yourself and you're witnessing yourself in love, when you're witnessing yourself in joy, and when you're witnessing yourself to not keep cutting on yourself that this is where you were wrong, this is what you did, this is not what you were supposed to do, to be saying or talking like. When you're doing all that, you are taking away your freedom to make mistakes. And some mistakes probably are predictable. And if you are judging everything on the scale of being predictable, you might be able to avoid those predictable mistakes. But a lot of things that happen when we try to do something new are not predictable. You cannot have everything on your list that I'm going to avoid it and then actually take action. That cannot happen. And the more you will keep yourself attached to this idea that I need it to go this way, otherwise just not what I can handle. Learn to hold that emotion, that fear that you cannot handle it. Learn to hold that. Learn to process that. Heal that emotion. Heal where it's coming from. Allow yourself to see yourself in more light, in more capacity. Allow yourself to see yourself in more joy of learning and creating and wanting and desiring and connecting with people. Learn to see yourself in that light. Learn to put yourself in a new space for yourself. Because the more you will allow yourself to do that, you will see opportunities will start coming to you. People will start connecting with what you are trying to tell them, what you are trying to convey to them. And you will not be scared to fall, because you're not trying to impress anyone. You're not really trying to choose anyone. This is where I did a lot of work for myself, because I needed to get to the root of the fear of not being chosen, the fear of what if someone misunderstands me, the fear of what if I say the wrong thing. And that all falls in, I wanted to be predictable, right? People wanting to be predictable, that no one should mistake me for saying something that hurt them or hurt their feelings or hurt their views and values. Nobody should see me as the person who's coming up and talking about things which are important to themselves when others are going through a different level of difficulties in their life. That all falls in the same scale. You can either be predictable, or you can keep reinventing who you are and keep becoming more of yourself. Keep bringing more of your light to the surface, first for yourself and then for others, because that's the gift. That is the gift. You, and the more that you are, you, that becomes the gift. And now I think this is the third thing. So I'm just gonna go into that now. The third thing. When you are trying to keep things predictable, you are missing out on a whole another level of how growth happens, how money grows, how manifestation becomes your intentional living and creating your life. Because you're already doing that, but you're doing it unknowingly. You're doing it without being in charge of what's in your head, in your heart, and in your body, in your nervous system, in your consciousness. You're already doing that, but you're doing it without being aware of it, without taking charge of it, without leading yourself in it, which is what I talked about yesterday. So if you have missed that live, go back to that live. I think it is still on my wall, on my Facebook. Go back, listen to the live where I'm talking about leading yourself. So when you will decide that, okay, being predictable is making me miss out on the exponential part of my life, on the exponential growth, on the exponential wealth, on the exponential me being more me every single day of my life, you will see you're not really getting anywhere by being predictable. It's not even a fraction of what could be exponential. The predictable is really not even the fraction of what you can build when you are letting yourself out of the cage of being predictable. So it's time to see in your every single day how you talk to people and where you put them in the box of being predictable according to your past experiences with them, or where you put yourself on being predictable. And the attachment is really painful, by the way. It's really painful. It doesn't just go away. You become aware of it. Then you work. If you have already worked through the shame and guilt and everything about it, you work through the next step. You accept that this is where I am. This is how I've been putting myself down by predicting that I'm just going to wake up and not make anything out of my day. I am just going to waste my time. This day at work is just going to be just like another day, and it's not going to be more fun. I'm not going to do anything great. Or I'm going to do great, but this is my limit of greatness. This is the max that I can be great. Why? Why would we not leave or start working on our attachment to be predictable and trade that attachment to heal and to bring more of ourselves into our conversations, to realize that when I am more me and I'm not attached to being predictable and I love who I am and I can keep loving myself more and more and I can keep doing things that I love more and more. When you come to that stage, when you allow yourself to be in that elevated space of being you, things get beautiful. It gets just amazing. Your experience, for example, right now, being here in this moment, talking about this topic that I'm talking about is making me so happy. I did decide in the morning that, okay, I really do want to say something today. I want to give something today as well. I want to share something new, and not as much as new, but something that I had been contemplating for the past few days, since it came to my mind that why are all of us trying to be predictable? It begins from a very small place. When I was building up my Instagram page once again, after almost a year gap as a coach, as a mentor, I wanted to pick a nice caption. I wanted to pick a nice style for the words that are on my reels and everything. And then I wanted to stick with it, wanted to make it my brand style. And then eventually while I'm doing this, and oh my God, I'm so excited to say it to myself also that it's been 3 months I'm posting regularly and I am enjoying it. That is so much fun. I write each caption and I love that. I love each word that comes out, that pours through. And I think the one way it worked so well is I am not trying to predict how much time it will take for me to write one caption, to make one post, to talk about this program, to talk about anything else. I'm not trying to be attached to all of that. I'm getting to the core of my genius. I'm getting to the core of what I love to do, which is to talk about a human experience that can be elevated in every way. And the elevation doesn't have a ceiling. So no matter how good your experience is today, you can achieve a greater experience. You can actually be experiencing so much more. And that's not coming that you are missing out on something and then you can be experiencing so much more. It's coming from you're already experiencing so much goodness in your life. And I want to tell you that, you know what, there is so much more. Like really so much more. Your heart will explode expecting so much goodness flowing into your life. But we humans, we are made to experience all of it. We're not made to put limit on ourselves. We do that because we are in the stage in our evolution, mental, emotional, spiritual, energetic evolution, where we are learning more and more about how our learned limitations, or I'm going to talk about the different concept in a different way. I don't think this is the right place to talk about, or even the right time to talk about it. I will talk about it. But we humans are on our way of having this beautiful, incredible journey of spiritual, energetic, emotional, mental elevations we are doing that. And the more people who come together who do this, you are raising the energy of the entire planet. And earlier this year, when I started working, well, not started, I need to let that go. Yeah. I didn't start working on me again, but yes, I started a new program. I started working with a different person who was talking about a different way of doing things in their lives. And I loved what I learned there, which was, and it opened my heart to doing my inner work, regardless of having any offers, programs, or any paid services. It really opened me up. It helped me just blow away any ceiling on wanting to do this work for myself. Because what he talked about, what he shared was, when you do your inner work, when you sit down and you elevate your consciousness, when you sit down and you decide that this is not the way goodness can come into life for me or for anyone. If I'm an angry person, my anger cannot bring goodness to my life or somebody else's life. If I am somebody who judges others a lot, my judgments are not bringing goodness to the world or to anyone else. So if it is not bringing light, let's call it light. So if my work, I sit down and I look at my life and I decide that I'm going to sit down and see where I am not bringing light, and I decide to change that about me, I commit to changing that about me, that moment of work, that desire to elevate myself, my consciousness, my awareness is probably helping someone somewhere else, because my elevation is not a one-way elevation. When I elevate a fraction of the world, of the universe. And that's beautiful. That helped me continue my inner work even when I was not taking any active clients. I was not working with any paid clients at the moment. So I couldn't let go of doing my inner work, because of course it meant it would do good for me, because I am elevating my consciousness. I'm learning to look at the world differently, to look at myself differently, to look at money, wealth, the work that I'm doing, the business, the energetics differently. But it's also helping the world be elevated in the light, and I am contributing to the fraction of it, and that's great, because I am just a fraction of the fabric of the entire universe. So that's great. And it helped me through some real intense inner work that I did for myself this year. And I am in love with this work. I believe that when we all, and when I'm saying when we all, I do see everyone doing their inner work in their own way. A mom could be just doing her work by being present for their kids, for her kids. A partner could be doing the work, the inner work, the elevation, by just being a good partner to their partner, the wife, husband, whoever. A parent, a child, a friend, a mentor, a client, anyone. You could be anyone. You could be a doctor, you could be a student, you could be a teacher, you could be actually anyone, and you are doing your work with presence, not with predictability, not trying to be predictable, not trying to be like somebody else. But you are sitting down and you're allowing yourself to be present, to be in that elevated consciousness of light, of being more of you. You are doing the work. You are contributing to the planet. You are contributing to the good things that are coming into form on the earth. So thank you for your work. Really, thank you for your work. You're doing the work, and I love that you're doing the work. So for me, talking about this is my heart's peace, because I want people to know that you don't have to be predictable, to be trusted. And that's another thing. We have crossed or, tangled trust and predictability together. They are two very different emotions. They are two very different frequencies. They don't have to be tied together. Predictability doesn't have to be a criteria for trusting somebody. Yeah, predictability can be a great source of some mathematical things, true, and maybe some other things, but I'm not able to like really recollect any of them right now, because right now my mind and heart are so connected, and I just want to talk about how you don't have to be predictable in order to be trusted by somebody, to be chosen by somebody, to feel good about yourself, to feel good about somebody else or a situation or event or anything that you're doing. You can let that go. There is an option that you can let that go, because there is this another beautiful space where things move exponentially. They don't move in a predictable fashion. They move exponentially. They grow exponentially. There is a compound effect of every good thing that happens. And you do that when you let go of your attachment to being predictable, to be small, to shrink yourself away. Because either you're trying to be predictable in a high vibe way, and then you are tired, exhausted, not able to continue with it, or you are trying to shrink yourself to a small corner so that you don't make anyone else question you, or no one has to really feel even you are there, so you're just shrinking yourself away, so you're predictable that way. For example, when a certain somebody goes to a party, people would usually say, she's a very shy girl, she doesn't talk that much. He's a very shy man, he doesn't talk that much, he's introvert. Why? You don't have to be predictable. You are meant to be you. You are a gift. Be the gift. Let yourself be surprised by your own goodness, by your own light. Do the work to bring that light out of you, through you. Do that work. This is awesome. I love everything that we just spoke about. And I'm going to invite you, which is the ongoing space, the free masterclass, Her Infinity, where I am talking about certain aspects of our consciousness that limits us, where you will be able to access a different horizon altogether inside your mind, your soul, your heart, and you will be able to move with. Putting a word confidence feels like too small. Like it feels like I'm just taking away the power of the whole word, Her Infinity. I'm just taking away that power. So I cannot just say that you will feel more confident. No, that's not what's going to happen. It's going to open a new door for you. It's going to open you up to yourself. And you will see how amazing of a person you are, your soul is, and how gifted you are when you are really allowing yourself to connect with yourself. And that joy is immeasurable. You cannot put a number on it. And the best things, they don't have a price on them, right? The best things in your life, you cannot define, you cannot put a price on them. The best things in the life, the best experiences, the best memories. So if we cannot predict that, how can we create those memories and experiences from being predictable? How can we do that? And this is how I'm going to end this live now. And the way you grow is actually the way you are going. If you're going predictably, you're going to keep trying to keep yourself in the lines. No outside movement, no mistakes. Be like this. Keep trying 10,000 things to be like this. More courses, more mentors, more coaches, more, without ever really allowing anyone to truly catch you in being you. Come back to yourself. Allow the mentors, the coaches, the good works where you feel called to go, by the way, where you feel called to go. Allow all that to influence you so that you can sit down and create from within, so that you can put that unique gift of how you do it with whatever you learned, how you do it, what you bring out of it, what is it that only you could have created and you did. So don't try to stay in the lines, because the way you grow is the way you will go. That's the only predictable thing about the whole dynamic of being predictable. The way you grow is the way you will go. And also, just think about it. Trust, faith, they are so much more different than being predictable. We ask for miracles. We ask for magical things to happen in our lives when we are in trust. And when we are trying to be predictable, we ask for measured experiences to come into our lives. We're not going beyond our learned informations, because that's where the predictable behavior or predictable learning can get you to whatever could be learned out of it. That's it. But being in your soul, being in trust, replacing that attachment to predictability with being more in trust, being more in guidance, being more in faith, in the strength that you can hold faith in the most unpredictable and uncertain times of your life. Building onto that strength, leaning into that strength, breaking the lines. No lines, just you being more of you every single day as you move. That's what will create exponential growth, business, love, joy, happiness, harmony in your life. And I would love to see that this is how people are growing, that this is what they are doing. If this masterclass, this life, which now I'm ending up calling masterclass anyway, so if this left something for you, changed something for you, let me know in the comments or let me know in the DM. Apart from that, I have my link open on this one for her Infinity Masterclass. That is a free 3 days masterclass with an activation, which is your energetic shift into an elevated, open consciousness. So you can have that just by joining the group. It's free. And I finally feel like this is such an amazing opportunity to let you know that I have a mastermind space open. Yay! I have a mastermind space open where I am so excited and really so thrilled to give the codes of how you can work through the biggest challenges of your life and come back in more power. And it's not about going through a difficult thing and then, having the biggest challenge in your life and then coming back to what you love to do. It's about finding that courage, that source, that connection inside of yourself, that joy inside of yourself. It's about that. And that's what I'm going to do in the mastermind. This is going to be the most amazing work anyone has ever done in any of my spaces and beyond. And I would love to have you in there. So if you're interested in knowing the details about her Infinity Mastermind, that is also in her Infinity Masterclass. That's also there. And I had so much fun talking about this mastermind when I created a video just to talk about this mastermind. And the fun thing for me is actually this, that I'm not even talking about the details of the mastermind, because I am so called in to do this work with women who really feel their hearts, who are connected to their hearts, who value their connection to their own intuition, who value their bodies and the wisdom of their own bodies, who are not shut down because they have read too much about the nervous system and, I need to be regulated and all of that, who has the desire to expand her capacity, to hold more pressure towards everything that is going on in her life or what she wants to build. So those are the women I want to work with in this mastermind, because they are the women who are going to get the most out of it, who are going to receive the most out of it. And I am ready to deliver. And I will be announcing the dates and everything very soon. But for now, whatever the price, whatever the offer is at for this mastermind, that will probably go up. I will be reevaluating and, going in and checking in what and when. But right now, it is where it needs to be. And it's going to be of so much service and elevation and goodness for the women who are part of it. It's going to be just amazing. The most incredible inner journey and the most incredible external formation that happens through it. That channeling, oh my God, I'm so excited for anyone and whoever is joining this. I'm so excited for us to be working in this. So excited, so happy. So you can comment me, or you can find the group Her Infinity Free Masterclass and join it and go through the modules which are there, the 3 masterclasses. Incredible work, masterpieces. It will shift your frequency so fast, and it's not even about it being fast. It's about the impact and depth it carries and the love and intention with which it was delivered. And the commitment. Okay, I can keep continuing the list, but that's what it's about. So join it, do the work, enjoy it. And if you're interested and if you feel you are the woman who feels called to be led into this next phase of her evolution, of her life, of her creation, and that she wants to feel that strong foundation within her, Her Infinity Mastermind would be the greatest place for you to do that, to be that, to have that. So you know what to do. And I'm really excited for us. I'm really excited for you. And I'm really excited to know that when you are letting go of being predictable, when you are healing that attachment to be predictable, how amazing your interactions with anyone are becoming, because you're not trying to be predictable. You're not trying to be the nice person. You're not trying to be anything that needs to be anything. You are becoming more of yourself. And I believe that most of the people here who are listening to this, they are good people. And when I say they will become more of themselves, they will become more good. They will become more and more soulful, more soul guided, more intuitive, kind, loving. And thank you so much for listening to this whole thing and being here.